Hello and welcome to Bob's Programming Academy. We've had a request from one of our subscribers to create a follow-up video about how to modify the layout of one of the applications we showed on the channel a few months ago. We really like the idea, so we've decided to create this tutorial. The app in question is this image classification app built using Django, Next.js, and Material UI. The application uses Inception RESTnet version 2 to classify images selected by the user. Inception RESTnet version 2 is a convolutional neural network created by Google and trained on more than 1 million images from the ImageNet database. In this video, we will first focus on how to install this image classification app. Next, we will demonstrate how to customize the layout. We will show you how to change the colors, fonts, images, logo, and text displayed on the page. So how does this application work? First, select an image for classification and drag and drop it into the provided drop zone in the browser. Once the image has been loaded, you will see the name of the image file listed under the drop zone. Next, send the selected image to the machine learning model for classification by pressing the Send Image button. Once you have sent the image to the machine learning model, the model classifies the image, and the result of the classification is then printed on the screen. The model is correct. It is definitely a West Highland White Terrier in the selected picture. Let's try another one. Press the Classify Again button. This time we select a locomotive. We send the selected image to the machine learning model for classification by pressing the Send Image button. The model is correct again. Indeed, it is an electric locomotive in the selected picture. Let's try one more. Press the Classify Again button. This time we select a fly. We send the selected image to the machine learning model for classification by pressing the Send Image button. Great! The model is correct again. It is definitely a fly in the selected picture. To get access to this project, go to the project's GitHub repository. You can find the link in the description section below. Next, press the Download Zip button to download the code. Once you have downloaded and unzipped the project, open it in Visual Studio Code or some other code editor of your choice. Before we start, make sure that you have all the required prerequisites installed on your machine. The prerequisites for this project are Python 3.10.4 or higher, Node.js 18.0.0 or higher, and Visual Studio Code. Alternatively, you can use some other code editor. First, create a virtual environment in the backend folder. To create a new virtual environment, in Visual Studio Code, navigate to the menu on the top, click Terminal, and then select New Terminal. First, run the command cd backend. Next, run the command python-m venv. To use this new Python virtual environment, we have to activate it first. To do that, run the command on Mac source venv/bin/activate. On Windows, venv /scripts/activate. Next, install Python packages listed in the requirements.txt file that are required for the backend part of the app. Pip install -r requirements.txt. Next, run migrations. Migrations are Django's way of propagating changes you make to your models into your database schema. First, run the command to create migrations. Python manage.py make migrations. Next, run the command to apply the changes to the underlying database. Python manage.py migrate. You also need to install all the dependencies required for the front-end part of the application. In Visual Studio Code, navigate to the menu on the top, click Terminal, and then select Split Terminal. In the second terminal window, run the command cd ... This command allows us to go one folder up to our root directory. Next, run the command cd frontend. Finally, run the command npm install. The npm install command will install all packages required for the frontend part of this image classification app. Finally, we can run this project and see what it looks like. To run the application, you must have both the backend and the frontend up and running. In one terminal window, from the backend directory, run python manage.py run server. This command will start the Django development server on your local machine. By default, the server runs on port 8000 on the IP address 127.0.0.1. 127.0.0.1 is the IP address for localhost, which is your local computer. The 8000 at the end tells you that Django is listening at port 8000 on your localhost. In the other terminal window, from the frontend directory, run npm run dev. This command will start a second development server for the frontend part of the application. The second server also runs on localhost, but this time on port 3000. Go to http://localhost:3000 to view the application. Let's check if everything works as expected. First, select an image for classification and drag and drop it into the drop zone. Next, send the selected image to the machine learning model for classification by pressing the Send Image button. The model is correct. It is definitely a beagle in this selected picture. Everything works great. Now let's focus on how we can modify the layout of this application. First, we'll show you how to change the colors. As I've mentioned, for the front-end part of this image classification app, we've selected Next.js and Material UI. Material UI is an open-source React UI library that we can use to build beautiful, modern, and elegant user interfaces. One of the most significant aspects of Material UI is theming. Theming helps us to create a global and default style for our applications. In Material UI, the theme specifies elements such as colors, typography, spacing, breakpoints, shadows, and much more. The theme allows us to customize all design aspects of our projects and to apply a consistent tone to our applications. Material UI provides for us default light and dark theme types, so if we don't create our own customized theme, the default values would be applied. This means that every time we use basic Material UI components such as buttons, cards, or typography, whenever we don't override the default theme, the values such as colors and variants are taken from the Material UI's default theme. To check what the Material UI's default theme looks like, go to https://mui.com/material-ui/customization/default-theme. The categories in the Material UI's default theme are breakpoints, palette, spacing, shape, mixins, shadows, typography, transitions, and z-index. If we open up breakpoints, we can see here that we have a couple of different breakpoints. We have extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. If we look at the values object, we can see that each one of these keys aligns to a certain number. This number is essentially our screen size in width, for when that screen is considered extra small, small, medium, large, or extra large. For example, if our screen is above 1536 in width, this screen will be considered extra large. The next category is palette. The palette defines colors in our application. We can see here inside palette we have a number of different colors, one of which is primary. If we open primary, we can see that the primary object has 3 different variations: main, light, dark, and also contrast text. Therefore, whenever we set the color of a Material UI component, such as a button, for example, to primary, the color will be set to whatever the main variant of the primary color is. We can see that each of these colors has light and dark variations. If we wanted to create light and dark mode for a website, Material UI's default theme already has all the colors for light and dark mode saved in, and it's just a matter of passing in dark mode into our theme. As we can see here, the Material UI's default mode is light, so if we don't specify the mode, it will be set to light by default. The next thing we want to look at is typography. Material UI's typography is used to standardize text and its related CSS properties. We can see here that, for example, the default font size is 14, the default font family is Roboto, and then it has some other fallback fonts like Helvetia, Arial, and sans serif. In this image classification app, we use a custom theme to override some elements of the Material UI's default theme configuration. To view our custom theme, in Visual Studio Code, go to Frontend, src, theme, theme.js. As we can see in the palette section, the color mode of our custom theme is set to light, and we have a few custom colors defined. Let's change the color theme of the application from light to dark. First, I will change the mode from light to dark. Next, I will change both background colors from light, nearly white, to very dark, almost black. I will also change the primary color, which is currently violet, to dark red. I will also change the color of the text. The primary color will be very light, nearly white, and the secondary color will be gray. Finally, I will also change the color of the divider which separates the hero section on the page from the section below. To find the colors you like, you can use a color picker, for example. Let's check what the application looks like after the changes. Save the theme.js file and go to the browser to check the application. Wow, that's a huge difference. Now the background is dark and the header, buttons and icons are red instead of violet. Next, let's replace this image here in the hero section. Right now, we are using a picture downloaded from Unsplash. The author of the photograph is Josh Powell. You can find this information in the footer section in the bottom right corner. If you're using in your hero section an image from Unsplash, Pixabay, or some other royalty-free stock media website, as we do here in this project, I highly recommend that you give credit to the author of the image if selected. On Unsplash, I will search for a camera. I will select this dark one here by Luca Bravo. I will download the image and place it in Frontend, Public, Images. I will also rename it to Camera. To change the image displayed in the hero section of the page, in Visual Studio Code, go to Frontend, src, Components, Hero.js. Scroll down to line 81. Replace the previous image with the new one, camera.jpg. As I've mentioned in the footer, we give credit to the author of the photograph, so we need to modify that too, since we now have a different image in the hero section. In Visual Studio Code, go to Frontend, src layout footer.js. Scroll down to line 105. The author of the new picture is Luca Bravo. We also need to replace the link to the author's profile on Unsplash in line 99 and the link to the picture itself in line 111. Let's go to the browser and check what the application looks like after the change. Great! We have a new image in the hero section and the proper attribution in the footer. Now let's change the font in the application. The font we are currently using is Roboto. You can find it here in the typography section of the theme.js file. First, let's select a new font that we want to use in the project. Go to https://fonts.google.com. I will choose Montserrat. First, we need to select the styles that we want to use. Next, copy the link and in Visual Studio Code, go to frontend src pages_document.js. Paste the link into the head section. Remember to keep the same format as the other links in this section, meaning that the link tag should be self-closing. Next, copy the name of the font you've selected and in Visual Studio Code, go to frontend src theme.js. As mentioned, the font currently used in the application is Roboto. Replace it with the name of the font you've selected. In my case, it's Montserrat. Let's go to the browser and check what the application looks like after the change. We can see that the font has been changed. Now we will change the logo. Let's say that we want to change the text and icon. To see the file where we have to make changes, in Visual Studio Code, go to frontend src layout header.js. Scroll down to line 57. I will change the text to image classifier. Next, let's replace the camera icon with a different icon. There are many free icon sets and toolkits to choose from. In this project, we use material icons. Go to https://fonts.google.com/icons. I will search for image. I like this icon right here, photo library. First, we need to import that icon. In Visual Studio Code, in the header.js file, type import photo library icon from $MUI/icons-material/photo library outlined ;semicolon. Next, scroll down to line 40 and replace camera icon with photo library icon. Let's go to the browser and check what the application looks like after the changes. We can see that both the text and icon have been changed. Finally, let's replace the current logo with an image. For the purpose of this demonstration, I will select one of the images that we already have in the project. I will use this one, favicon.ico, located in Frontend, Public, Images. In Visual Studio Code, go to Frontend, src, layout, header.js. Scroll down to line 37. Delete the code between lines 37 and 62. Next, add a self-closing image tag. This tag requires source, width, and height attributes. The source for the image tag will be our selected image. Next.js can serve static files like images under the public directory, and the files inside public can then be referenced by our code starting from a slash. The favicon.ico file is located in public images. This is why we need to set the source attribute of the image tag to /images/favicon.ico. I will set both the width and height to 50. Let's go to the browser and check what the application looks like after the change. Indeed, the previous logo has been replaced with the selected image. Now let's change the text displayed in the Hero section. In Visual Studio Code, go to Frontend, src, Components, Hero.js. Scroll down to line 40. Here we have the title, and in line 52 we have the subtitle. I will modify both the title and the subtitle. Let's go to the browser and check what the application looks like after the changes. Indeed, both the title and subtitle have been modified. If you want to change the text that is displayed on the two buttons in the Hero section, make changes in Frontend, src, Components, HeroButtons.js. Finally, let's change this text right here. How does it work? In Visual Studio Code, go to Frontend, src, Components, Description.js. Scroll down to line 47. I will change this text to About. If you want to change the subtitle of the section, modify this text right here, in line 58. Here you can also change the contents of each of the 3 columns describing how to use this application. Let's go to the browser and check what the app looks like after the changes. Indeed, the title of this section has been modified. Let's check if everything works as expected. First, select an image for classification. Next, send the selected image to the machine learning model for classification by pressing the Send Image button. The model is correct. Indeed, it is a sports car in the selected picture. We hope you've enjoyed this video. You've learned how to set up and customize this image classification app. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel so you can be notified whenever we post something new. It really helps with the algorithm to get our videos out there to more and more people so that we can continue making them. We really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.